The Cincinnati Reds are far from the big red machine they once were. Since 2000, the Reds have the 24th worst record in baseball and are the only team since 2000 without a playoff series win. If they don't win a playoff series this year, it will mark 30 years since their last series win in 1995. Since 2000, the Reds have only made the top two in their division in 2000, 2010, and 2012. Reds fans went through losing an average of over 90 games a season from 2014 to 2019, along with 100 loss season in 2022. The goal of the rebuild starting a few seasons ago was to build a young roster that could mature into a consistent playoff team. Now that it's been a couple years, the Reds players have still not hit that next level. In 2023, the future looked very hopeful, going from 100 losses in 2022 to being above 500 in 2023. However, since then we have not seen much growth. Elly De La Cruz still has an OPS around 800, and some of the most promising players from that 2023 team in Spencer Steer and Christian Encarnacion Strand have gone completely in the wrong direction. The Reds' offense is full of young players who can improve, especially if Elly fulfills his potential of becoming a top 10 player in the league. But what they really need is the addition of a starter or two and some reliable bullpen arms, and hopefully after another year of development, that will get their young players to take that next step. The Los Angeles Angels had Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Albert Pujols, and Anthony Rendon on the same team and didn't make the playoffs. The Angels actually have the 9th best record of all teams since 2000. They won a World Series in 2002 and were the best team in their division from 2004 to 2009. There were no signs of them slowing down, with the Angels bringing in the best hitter of the 2000s in Albert Pujols, along with bringing up a 19-year-old Mike Trout. As bright as their future seemed, it didn't result in any success. The Angels somehow have the worst luck and decision-making when it comes to signing stars. Starting with stars who underperformed, Pujols averaged over 7 wins above replacement a season with St. Louis, and just over 1 with the Angels. Not to mention his numbers when he went back to St. Louis from the Angels. Anthony Rendon averaged over 4 wins above replacement a season with the Nationals, and under 1 with the Angels. Josh Hamilton signed a 5-year deal, but got traded after 2 years of underperforming. In terms of guys who have had success with the Angels, Mike Trout signed a $426 million contract in 2019 to last until he's 39 years old. He's still Mike Trout, but he has only played over 100 games once since signing. The Angels couldn't re-sign Shohei, but maybe it's for the best they stop giving their entire payroll to players already in their 30s and maybe get some pitching. The Minnesota Twins have a 50.2 winning percentage in the regular season since 2000. With the regular ups and downs that every team faces during a season, the regular season is not that hard to watch compared to everybody else. They were the best team in the AL Central from 2002 to 2010, with the help of Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Johan Santana, and Torrey Hunter. This team was loaded with potential, and they saw success finishing first in the division in 6 of the 9 years. But that was followed by a rough stretch from 2011 to 2016, with loss totals nearing 100 almost every season. Since then, the team has gone on to have some decent seasons, with the standout season of the 2019 Bomba squad hitting the most home runs in MLB history and winning 101 games. As far as the regular season goes, not too bad, but that is not where baseball becomes borderline unwatchable for Twins fans. From 2004 to 2023, the Twins lost 18 consecutive playoff games. That includes 7 playoff appearances until they finally beat the Blue Jays in 2023. Finally, the Twins break their drought and follow that up by saying they're cutting payroll by $30 million. Within 2 years, the team goes up for sale, sells off 40% of its team, and then decides not to sell the team. Just to throw salt on the wound, since 2002, the Yankees have a 125 and 45 record against the Twins. The Twins do have a chance to become a playoff team again in the not-so-distant future. If they sign Pablo Lopez and Joe Ryan to extensions, if Byron Buxton stays healthy, if Royce Lewis figures it out, and if their top prospects like Walker Jenkins succeed at the major league level, then watch out for the Twins.
He leaves because there is no hope.
The Pittsburgh Pirates seem to be in a permanent rebuild for the last 3 decades. They don't seem to have a clear direction or goal besides making their owner Bob Nutting money. The Pirates have both the 4th lowest payroll for 2025 and the 2nd lowest win percentage of all teams since 2000, as well as being the only team in MLB with only 1 playoff series win in that time span. The Pirates had a brief period of mediocrity from 2013 to 2018, with 2013 to 2015 being the best time to be a Pirates fan since 1992, the last time they have had a winning record besides a 6-year run. To sum up the Pirates now, they are just a complete mess. According to Baseball Reference, a league average OPS is 719. The Pirates don't have one player with an OPS over 719. The pitching is a bit better, however, it can't come close to carrying this offense. The only thing that could give the Pirates fans hope for the future is if the team is sold to someone who cares. The Athletics have a great team history. They have the 11th best winning percentage and made the playoffs 11 times since 2000. Up until their rebuild starting in 2022, the A's were one of the most successful regular season teams in baseball. Unfortunately, they did not find the same success in the postseason, winning only 2 playoff series since 2000. The reason the A's are so hard to watch is more for off-the-field reasons. The A's have needed a new stadium since 1962, when the Coliseum was built. However, what they got was a AAA field and plans to move to another state. This move not only alienates fans, but nullifies any chance the A's have of playoff success until they move to Las Vegas. They are scheduled to play in Sacramento for the next 2 to 3 seasons. The A's clubhouse is behind center field, and according to players, the mound is terrible. With all the complaints surrounding the current field, it is likely no high-end MLB players will want to call that their home park when it comes to free agent signings or waiving no-trade clauses. The current team does show a lot of potential, especially offensively, but they have no pitching. Overall, it feels like the next couple of years are a waste, but if Kurtz, Butler, and Soderstrom grow into solid players and Langeliers and Rooker don't get too old too fast, they could be an interesting team in 2028 and on.